All right, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel where we talk about all things business, mindset, entrepreneurship, and credit. Look, I'm excited because this is the first video that I make since the launch of my brand new ebook, The Ultimate Credit Hacks. I leave everything that I know into that ebook, and then I went ahead and took it a step forward because a lot of you guys were asking me, Irv, we appreciate the content that you put out on YouTube, but is there one place where you can kind of just put everything into one sequence of how to repair your credit, the type of credit cards that you should go for, how to properly build out your credit report, how to hide your credit card utilization, how to travel for free? Look, I leave all of that not only in the ebook, but as well as in the credit card, credit hacks, and financial literacy course. You can find all of that down in the link in the description, and then I'll go ahead and drop it as well into the first comment. Again, I'm excited because this is the first video that I make since releasing all of that. So I wanted to share with you a hack that a lot of credit bureaus don't want you to know about. In fact, this hack right here is going to pretty much make your job a heck of a lot easier when it comes to getting some of these negative items, whether it's collections, whether it's repos, whether it's charge-offs, negative accounts, bankruptcies, whatever that is, off of your credit report. Now, this method right here is one that you don't necessarily see a lot of people talking about. Now, I run you through a full sequence over in the credit course, but I wanted to also share it with you here just because I believe in providing value to my viewers and to all of my subscribers. And if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing. Now, the method that I'm going to share with you before we get into it, I first want to break down how the process works whenever you have a debt or whenever you have, let's say, a credit card that gets sold off. Here's the first thing that you should know. Right around 78 to, I'd say, even closer to 80%, depending on where the statistic is right now, there is a negative item, or there is a collection, or there is debt, or there's an error that's on someone's credit report that shouldn't even be there. And yes, I'm talking to you right now. If you were to pull up all three of your credit reports, whether it's TransUnion, whether it's Experian, or whether it's Equifax, you're going to see an item that you're thinking to yourself, what the heck is that? Either that's not how I spell my name, that's not my address, that's not my previous employer, that's not a credit card that I've ever owned, that's not the balance on the credit card, I've never lived at this address. Whatever that error is that's on your credit report, it's actually holding you back from being able to obtain financing. So if you're going out to purchase a car, maybe if you were going to be at a certain rate, it's actually skyrocketing your rate. So now you're paying more every single month, not because you did anything wrong, but because there's some mistakes attached to your credit file. And then let's say if you wanted to apply for a house, your lender now looks at that and they say, hey, you actually owe this much in credit cards, or your debt utilization or your debt to income ratio is actually getting thrown off because of your debt utilization. And now you're thinking, wait a minute. That has nothing to do with what I have. So what ends up happening is you either have to wait 7 years for some of those items to come off, or even worse, you end up having to pay a debt that shouldn't have even been there to begin with. And I'm not sure about you, but time is money. So I'm not wanting to wait 7 years because there's some moves that you probably want to make right now that you couldn't, that you can do otherwise, because again, you have this burden that's kind of holding you down. And again, you're having to come out of pocket for something that doesn't even belong to you. So what's the solution to this? Because I promise you that if you apply this method that I'm about to share with you, it's going to make the credit cleaning process 20 times easier than how you've been struggling, possibly going up to this point. Or maybe if you've been dishing out hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to companies that maybe they haven't provided you this information. You're getting it here right now on this channel, and that's this. You are going to take a look at your credit report, and you are going to remove demographic information as well as personal information. What the heck is that, Irv? Here's what that is. You're going to take a look at, again, all three credit reports. Print out the most recent ones. You can go to Identity IQ. You can go over to annualcreditreport.com if you wanted to get a free one, or you can just go ahead and go on one of the three bureau websites and just go ahead and purchase them. What you're going to do is you're going to pull up all three credit reports. You're going to lay them out nicely right out in front of you, because I'm a visual person and this is the way that I've always done it, and this is the way that I think it would benefit you as well, having it in front of you. And then you're going to take a look at TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. You're going to take out a highlighter. You're going to take a look at all of your names. Make sure that you only have one name attached to each of your credit reports. If you have a middle name, if maybe you had a maiden name, if maybe you were divorced and maybe your name changed, if maybe there's a misspelling on your name, you want to make sure that you get an update or that you send an update to the credit bureaus on what that new name should read. So let's say for myself, if my name is Irv Official, or if it's Irvin Pena, I only want that to read over onto each of the credit reports. That's step one. And you're probably wondering, okay, what's that actually going to do for me on the back end? We're going to get to that here in just a second. Step two is you want to take a look at all of your addresses. When you take a look at all of your addresses, you want to see what's your current address right now. All of those old addresses that you see on there, you want to make sure that you get those items removed as well. Again, in the ebook, in the credit cleaning course, I have all of the letters that are effective that you can use to get all of these things removed instantly. The third thing that you want to look for is all of the jobs that you've previously had, and that does come up on your credit report as well. Remember, this is like a report card of your financial history, and it also looks at your stability, how long you've stayed at a job, how long you've stayed at an address. It's more than just a score. All of these things have to do with the way banks see you and how they see you either as a high risk or a low risk. And so we're really trying to clean this up so that you become, again, more appealing when you're going out to purchase a car, or when you're going out to buy a house, or when you're going out to obtain business funding, because you need good personal credit in order to start leveraging high business credit. So then you're going to look at your jobs, and then you're going to see, okay, I'm not here anymore, or I was only there for 1 month, or wait a minute, I've never even worked at that job to begin with. And then what you're going to do, you're going to also dispute that and get that knocked off of your credit report. Now you're probably wondering, why is this so effective, and how is this actually going to help me with my credit? The names, the addresses, the jobs that you were at, all of that is linked to some type of debt. So when you go to dispute these items, and then you get the following credit report, or when you get when you get a letter from the credit bureaus letting you know, hey, we went ahead and updated the information that you wanted us to update. This is how it reads now on the credit report. When you go back, I promise you, when you go back and you go to dispute your items, or those items that are on your credit report, the collections, the charge-offs, the hard inquiries, whatever you're looking to get off of your credit report, this is going to work like magic. And this is what I want you to do. When you give this a try, whether you are just going off the video that you're watching right now, or if you decide to take it a step further, you decide to go and use the letters that I have over in my ebook, or if you take it even a step beyond that and you allow me to show you the exact process over in our credit cleaning course, I want you to come back to this video and I want you to comment, Irv, it worked like magic, because that's really what this method is. I'll be honest with you, when I figured this out and when I started seeing other people do this, and I started seeing their credit files start to get cleaned out, I started thinking to myself, yeah, this is it. And so I promised myself that I would share this method with as many people as I could, and I'm doing so here on YouTube so that YouTube can see financial freedom the same way that I have. So there you have it. If you found value in this content, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Join the official community. Don't forget that anytime I'm not posting on here, I'm posting over on the Inside with Irv show, which is my podcast style channel. So if you like what we have going on over here, you'll love what we have going on over there. Once again, I appreciate you checking me out. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.